Before I start, I wanna give a shout out to Aussie50. It's him the reason I've got this car, and I've got it in the third quarter of 2013 after I was watching his videos back in the late 2012. Back when I was looking for a decent, manageable car to drive daily, and I ended up getting this one because I liked the way the engine was, set up, and it's a GM vehicle, and I quite like working on them. They are pretty straightforward as far as they are old. So yeah, anyways, this car has 2,800,000 kilometers, and some will say that this is not a lot. However, I do consider it being a lot because the previous owner was a dickhead when it comes to engine maintenance. I've seen some things like the oil filter never changed, delayed oil changes, and quite a lot of stuff. Yeah, anyways, this car was priced at half the price of other ones, and the rest of the car, except of the engine, was, in pretty good shape, so I said, why not? Now it has a blown head gasket, which was already semi-blown at the time that I've got it, and now I've got a new engine to drop in, so I hope that this will be like 30% better. The interior doesn't look that nasty because I put like countless hours of work when I completely stripped the interior and half of the car. And the dash is painted with Rust-Oleum flat black paint. It holds well 2 years now and looks awesome. The door panels are painted with flat black nitro lacquer. You know, the ones that are they are using on furnitures for interior use, but anyways, the whole car is painted with nitro lacquer for like $3. It's like twice as good as the cheap Rust-Oleum paint jobs you're going to see around. Did I say $3? No, I meant 30. Yeah, anyways, and that's an RCD 300 from a Volkswagen Golf 2007. Those are very decent for the price you can get them. The long story short about the car's biggest issue when I've got it was a broken steering wheel mount. So as a result, the steering wheel had a play, the steering rack had a play, and as a result, the oil was leaking inside the interior on this carpet. So what I've done was remove the steering rack mount from the firewall, re-weld it, reinstall it, and delete the power steering system. The reason of why is because I didn't wanted some sort of a crappy power steering system that was offering nothing except of trouble. I replaced the hydraulic steering rack with a 4.5 lock-to-lock manual rack, but I realized that I was steering the car faster with a depowered 3.5 hydraulic rack instead of the manual one. So yeah, I ended up like this, and now the steering goes straight, just the steering wheel is like 20 degrees off because I broke like 2 steering wheel extractors and it's still stuck. So here's the engine bay. That's the coolant bottle. I never, tied it up because of the pressure buildup that will force anything to, blow up, like this hose outlet, which is completely rotten. I put some gasket maker, but it needs a replacement. But I'm not gonna do anything to this engine because I've already got a new one. The timing belt is inside there for like 8-9 years or so. It still haven't snapped, but I expect it to happen soon if I don't replace this engine. As the head gasket, you can see that has fluid leaking out. That's because all the oil drips out. The water also drips out from this side here. Thankfully the water is not getting into the oil. Sometimes you will notice some water in oil up to this oil refill cap. But I don't know why this happens. Perhaps when it runs out of water, the head wraps, or however you can call it, and it creates a concave surface, which makes the head gasket leak worse. That's an Egr Delete Plate. I figured out that it had stuck open, and it's much less hassle to do this whole procedure than replace it, because this damn thing costs like more than half of this engine worth. Anyways, well, that's the steering rack mount. Now it's mounted with bolts. That will be easier for next time this seat metal breaks apart. That's the converted steering rack. It has a loop on the piston side, and that's pretty much all about the steering rack. This also needs to be replaced because this side, the front wheel on this side, usually gets some air. You won't notice anything, but I know that there's some air going inside, and there's like a 10% difference on the braking from this side to this side. So yeah, I will replace this to a 22mm pump, and it's going to brake quite nicely. That's some nice oil, isn't it? Well, the engine runs fine after all. Sometimes it's not gonna run for unknown reasons. Maybe the CPS is half bad, or I don't know what. Yeah, one of the cases, this one right now. Oh yeah. Surprisingly, the water pump still works, apparently. That's a necessary accessory. That's the $30 flat nitro lacquer paint job. Sounds good if you think of all the issues that this engine has. The more it heats up, the more oil and water comes out of from the head gasket. I mean, look how nasty this thing is. It's like halfway through the temperature working range. Like, disgusting. Has no muffler. It's just a stainless steel pipe welded on where the muffler was. It has an error on this side. Oh, look at that! Here comes the water again. and the coolant reservoir is not even tight, so pressure buildup can escape easily. All the hose outlets are rotten out. I replaced this one on a machine shop when I got it, and the coil pack is also replaced within a month of when I got this car.